All right, now our first guests are the main characters in the series that is currently keeping millions of people in front of their TV on a Saturday night, wishing they too knew how to wield a sword and practice magic.
What are you doing? I didn't summon you. He is using magic. And now they'll see for what you really are. Killing!
Oh! It's Colin Morgan and Bradley James. Welcome to the show, guys.
Welcome to the show.
Much. How are you all?
Good, yeah.
Did you watch yourself last night or did you go out? Do you sit in?
I caught a glimpse of it because I was very honoured to release the balls at the National Lottery last night.
Oh, I see.
And in the green room they had Merlin on, so I, had half an eye watching that and half an eye on something else.
Have you watched them all though? Have you seen all the finished episodes?
They haven't been finished yet. We still we only finished filming 3 weeks ago.
Right.
And so we've still got all the the post-production team are all working their magic, so to speak, on the shows at the moment.
So when you're watching them for the first time like us? More or less on the Saturday evening?
We managed to get them on DVD just
a
few days before.
DVD beforehand.
Yeah.
Well, you say people are doing their magic there. How hard is it to act when, you're doing special effects and stuff? Pretending there's snakes coming out of a thing, is it?
Well, I actually had to do DVD... I was just saying I had to do DVD commentary the day, and they had a really rough cut of episode 2. And I was watching it, I was talking about it, and then, basically, the scene I saw was me being chased by ping-pong balls.
Not quite the same.
No, it's completely different, in fact. In the sense that it's not scary at all being chased by... Well, it's a little amusing being chased by ping-pong balls. Anyway, so you kind of have to have quite an active imagination and sort of, just throw yourself out there mentally, which, as long as you can keep that at work and don't take it home, you'll be fine.
Yeah, but when you're imagining these things to happen and then the reality of what actually happens, is it completely different to what was going on in your head?
Well, I mean, you do all that work with the dragon. What was that like?
Yeah, that's incredible, actually.
Well, yeah, I mean, you kind of... it's basically... the cave is just a little sort of hovel, and then the green screen will have, like, an X on it, and you're just looking at the X, really, and trying to imagine what it would be like to talk to a 30-foot dragon. And so, yeah, it helps whenever you get to see, say, the first episode, and then the later episodes, you know what it's going to look like, so at the start it's a bit weird, but, yeah, you get used to it.
I'll tell you what, it's probably going to help us if we see the dragon that you're talking about, if you don't mind.
Yeah.
Oh, no, we don't... Oh! Oh, sorry,
we
just
saw,
on a picture.
I think we just saw
I thought we had a clip,
there.
we just got a picture, excuse me.
Sorry.
Now, the dynamic between you two, there's actually a lot of humour, which I find quite interesting, the two main characters, because I thought the subject was going to be quite serious. But I'm guessing that you're pretty good friends now. What was it like when you first met? Spending 8 months together in the back of Beyond.
I always say about when I first met Colin, I couldn't understand a word he was saying, and it was just purely because I wasn't used to his accent. And also he's got this very... You wouldn't think it to look at him, but he's got a very sort of dark sense of humour that you don't know about.
Right.
That's quite Merlin-esque, is it not?
I suppose so. But so I think when we kind of first met, we were sort of from completely different backgrounds and didn't know anything about each other, and we're like, OK, what's this guy about? And then I feel as though there's been a bit of a bond, built
You
up.
feeling that? You feeling that too, Colin?
Yeah, I mean, he's right. I mean, I think whenever you start anything, you've got a big sort of project like this, and you're starting off for the first time. It takes a while to get used to it, and I think it helps because the characters are meeting each other for the first time, and it develops throughout the whole series. So I mean, it helps.
So Richard Wilson's in this. So how hard is it not to go? I don't believe it.
That's what you do all day, wouldn't you?
I don't believe it.
You just do it all the time.
I was watching it and I was thinking, when's he going to say it? See, if you've got a catchphrase, you might as well use it. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
What you don't know about Richard Wilson is he is surprisingly good at table tennis.
It's this ping pong thing again, isn't it?
Ping pong. I was playing table tennis, ping pong with Richard Wilson, and you look at him, you think, oh, he's not. I'm going to take it easy on him, put some nice shots back, and then all of a sudden he kind of went like that. I went, oh, I don't believe it, like that, and I went. I didn't know what to say, and I was just kind of, you know, wondering.
And is he just stony-faced, or does he get into the whole?
He's not doing one of those, is he? Where he's just throwing it up and he's like a little.
Yeah, well, pretty much. He was that good. So I've said it that one time out of genuine astonishment at his ping pong skills. But other than that,
I would be saying it every morning to him. I don't believe it. Now we've got a clip of next week's episode, so let's have a look. Here we go.
Merlin, you know that conversation we had about knocking?
You have to pull out.
Why is that?
Because he'll kill you.
Why does everybody think that?
Because they're right. Just pull out. You're the Crown Prince. No one wants to see you die over some stupid challenge.
I'm not a coward.
I know that. I've stood there and have watched you overcome every fear you've ever faced.
That's what's required of me.
But you are more than that. You're not merely a warrior. You're a prince, a future king. You've proved your courage. But you must prove your wisdom.
Not backing down.
Please, Arthur, listen to me. This is no ordinary night.
Good sword skills. Is that real, or did you have to get stuntmen in to do things?
On my very first day on this show, I was put in a warehouse with a guy called Andreas Petrides, who's the stunt coordinator. And he said, right, there's a sword, there's a shield. And Will Mellor was standing at the other end of this warehouse, charging at me like a maniac, and it was a case of defending myself, and it was being thrown at the deep end. And then ever since then, I've just had the time of my life, swinging swords around for a living. So it's...
a boy's dream, pretty much.
Yeah, well, the training's kind of just been, you know, playing about at the same time. It's been terrific.
And Colin, we see proper acting there because you've got to change your accent. And I've always said, you know, that must be the hardest thing with actors. A lot of actors just play themselves, don't they? But you're actually having to change and have a very English accent.
Yeah, I mean, and not just a case of sort of putting in a bit of work. You know, each morning before you sort of start, it's important to do that because, you know, you're going to, you know, at some point sort of slip up. So it's good.
Bizarre, isn't it? Yeah, because I just thought you'd come naturally, but obviously you have to work at it like if you were working at an American accent or something.
Yeah, exactly. It's just putting a bit of work in. But yeah, it's been, as I said, it's kind of good fun because some of my mates are going, it's weird because it's you on TV, but it's not you, you know, so it's...
When you did your audition, did they make you do an English accent?
Not until the early stages. I was doing my own accent, and I was doing a Southern Irish accent, and then after that, they were like, the very final stage, they were like, can you try an English one for us? And then after that, then it was like, OK, let's
So has your own accent softened any? We're spending all that time speaking in an English voice?
I don't know. Maybe whenever I go home, and my parents will be like, you know, why are you speaking like that?
Yeah, exactly.
What are the hard words to say?
Hard words to say. Sometimes words with like L's in them because I go will like that, where you need to kind of go will, you know. So it's kind of bringing it more front, you know. So words like that, and then yeah, because my diction's not the best at the best of times. So
yeah, I can barely do my own accent. Let alone anything else. So all right, Colin Bradley will be staying with us and taking your emails along with Alicia Dixon. If you want to ask them anything, search for Something for the Weekend via the BBC website, bbc.co.uk, and drop us an email.